Hey guys, welcome to the review for Hitman Agent 47. I have a huge fucking headache right now, so I apologize. I think it was induced by the movie. I think the movie induced this huge headache because I think it's time to put the Hitman movie franchise to rest. I love the video games. I think the video games are fantastic. They make movies themselves. Just play the games, don't watch the movies, is basically how I'm looking at it. So if you don't know the story, the plot, let's go over it real quickly without spoilers. And in fact, this movie it doesn't even deserve a spoilers section or separate video. What we'll do is we'll review the movie very quickly. And then do a spoilers all in one video. So we'll mention when we're fixing to spoil the movie, but we'll give our final verdict first. So this movie sucked. It was boring, but you know what? It wasn't as boring as Fantastic Four. I'm gonna give it that. I give every movie a solid, legitimate chance. It was difficult hearing how much this movie sucked and Sinister sucked before going and seeing them. But, you know, as the movie was going on, you know, I thought this isn't that bad. And then it just progressively just falls apart. Yeah. So the story is Agent 47 is the 47th of these super soldiers, super hitmen, contract killers from a particular agency. They were created by one intelligent scientist, well, a bunch of scientists, but one guy put it all together, and that guy felt so guilty he left and used his skills to stay hidden. Somehow during this he has a daughter. This daughter, you know, is the key to finding him again because other agencies obviously want these super-powered hitmen to form armies. So they are searching for him. His daughter is searching for him.
Everyone's looking for this guy.
Everyone's looking for this guy, and the hitman we know, Agent 47, is contracted to kill him and his daughter, and that's how the movie comes together. So all three of these things converge, and we have our movie. The problem is, there's so much exposition and story at the beginning of the movie. It is a little bit overload.
Yeah.
You're bombarded.
There's like 10 minutes of explanation of just pure, you know, that scene and that's setting everything up. It's like it's not ending here.
Flashback, another flashback.
And this is what happened.
Of a flashback.
No, there wasn't that many flashbacks.
We must go deeper into flashbacks.
No, there wasn't that many flashbacks. But it was literally just a bunch of exposition at the beginning. So I'm sure audiences got lost right there at the beginning. It helped a little bit that I've played the games before, so I know there's the agency. I know there's Diana who talks with 47. But you know, some of these new, they might get confused between you know, the syndicate and the agency. They never really named the agency by name. It was just Agent 47 had his own resources and his own handler that he could call on. So anyway, the movie on paper probably could have been pretty good. Because we are learning the origins of Agent 47, technically who fathered him. Obviously, the scientist created all of the agents, and we're getting a little bit of this discovering Agent 47's family without giving too much away. And then obviously Agent 47 has to fight for you know, what he cares about. But technically, the agent is not supposed to care about anything, and the actor does a good job of being robotic. Yeah. In fact, too much of a good job. You have to. Yeah, I got really bored. You had this feeling like at some point he was supposed to switch to this more feeling or show a little bit of emotions. But he didn't do that. Now, as far as Agent 47, I do think that this was a better Agent 47 than the 2007 version. What was that guy's name?
Yeah, I don't know.
OtherJoe. I don't know his name. What is his name? Nobody knows his name.
It was 2012.
No. It was not 2012. You're
was
thinking
another
of a particular Hitman movie based
Oh,
upon
wow.
a real Hitman. It's a 2007 movie. Anyway, he was a better Hitman because he was bigger, he was stronger. His head still a little too small for Hitman, and his voice kind of seemed off. No offense to this particular actor,
Yeah.
I think his voice was a little too squeaky, maybe a little too gentle for Hitman. But yeah, I did you buy him as a contractual killer and as the hit Agent 47?
Actually, he's the only one I actually bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only one. Because he was supposed to play an emotionless character, and he did that pretty well.
He did that, yeah.
He's too good. Damn.
He's too good at being
Everything
emotional.
else is like, they're trying, but I just couldn't feel it. I didn't
Yeah.
feel it. I'm not emotionless. I got feelings. That movie didn't do it for me.
Now, I personally, I thought he was a lot better in the sense that he body casted better for 47 than the first guy. The first guy was like skinny and just scrawny looking. When 47,
Timothy Oligon, something with an O.
yes, but 47's a big dude. He's a scary guy. He's taller than
Yeah.
most of the people in the video game. And they used a bigger guy for this one. They could have gone even bigger because he's supposed to be huge. But I felt just because they casted the guy's body better, he did a better job, and he did the whole emotionless thing really well.
Yeah, the problem is, here's the thing. Who is this movie for? Is this
Exactly.
movie for spy fans? Is this movie for the fans of the video game? Is there honestly all that many fans of the video game that it could sustain a movie franchise all on its own? So
No.
you have to figure out what you want to be. And this movie they always bring in a female character to back up Agent 47.
They don't need to.
And
need
they don't
the eye
need to,
candy.
and I think it fucks it up. She's not even really that eye candy. They didn't play it in that way. She didn't have any. Wait a minute. They actually did.
With the
They
pool
had a
scene.
shower scene, but it was very quick. It wasn't out of taste. And then for some reason, obviously Agent 47 meets up with this girl. At some point, she is being hunted by other contract killers, and she decides to go topless dipping at a hotel.
Yeah.
Are you that fucking stupid? You're being hunted by extremely professional contract killers, and it's like, okay, you're gonna go to sleep. Okay, well, I'm gonna go topless dipping. You don't see her boobs in the
No,
film
you
or
don't.
anything like that. So that's why I was saying I don't really think she was there for eye candy.
Well, now that
But
you said that part, that's actually the part I fell asleep because I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
I fell
Oh
asleep.
shit! You fell asleep during the movie.
Okay, other Joe fell asleep during the movie. I looked
No,
over, he's
yeah.
sleeping, and then next time I looked over, Joe looked over and he was like, because he woke up during one of the worst jokes of the
Yeah,
film,
So I don't
and
remember that part. So
all the jokes fall flat. I can't even tell you what part he
I think
was
the
like
action.
that he was laughing at. I think it was when at some point they're being hunted. They are in a loud warehouse where your
Yeah.
voice would reverberate off the walls because it's huge. So the acoustics in there are pretty bad if you start talking. And as they're avoiding these highly trained SWAT team / contract mercenary killers, they're all talking to each other. What would you do at this point? I'd go left and I'd go right, right? And at the same point, you see like this SWAT team like walk behind them like he's searching for them. It's like they're fucking talking. You don't hear them.
And there was a scene where they were on a balcony with no cover above this whole open area of SWAT teams. They're just standing there like, what are these guys? What are they doing? And none of the guys were like, hey, wait a
Nobody
minute.
bothers to look up to see
Or
them.
even slightly at an angle.
So what I'm saying is this movie always has to bring in this female character and try to give emotion to the movie because 47 can't show emotion. And that's where these movies get it wrong. You got it wrong in the first one, they got it wrong in the second one. You just take that element out. Just if you want to go action, which this movie clearly tried to satisfy with the action, but keyword tried. But if that's what you're trying to do, just fuck it. Just give us a whole hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes of just Pure killing, okay? Agent 47 doing his thing, killing really hard targets until he gets to the last guy and fucking kills the last guy, okay? If you hire good fucking martial artists, choreographers, right, for the fight scenes, you do some gun kata, and there was a little bit of that in this film because obviously they're super enhanced, so one shot kills and they go and do that. But they mixed it too much with scenes that didn't matter, you didn't care at all about the characters. The dialogue was extremely weak, so you still didn't care about the characters. And the problem with the action scenes here is they are few. They're not few. There's quite a few action scenes, but every single one is fucked up.
Yeah,
they fucked it up in every single one. I'm saying there's one thing that takes you out of the moment, and so the first scene with the action where they're searching for them, they're talking really loudly.
Yeah.
They are close to us. What would you do now? They cannot hear us.
They can't hear us.
They fucked that one up. The next one they fucked up is all the action scenes are ruined by one element. Eventually, finally, Agent 47 sees his he sees his contract where he's supposed to kill that target, and this target Zachary is talking with the female lead, and so he takes a shot. He takes like 2 or 3 shots, misses every single shot. Yeah. Except for the rest of the movie, he's making shots that are like 2 miles long with sniper shots. He's hitting everybody with one-hit kills on everybody. But the very opening shots of the movie, he misses 3 shots right out in the open. And it's just, it makes no fucking sense. No. Later on, you understand why he may have missed one target, but the other target, you're like, there's no reason for him to miss. And during the whole fight scene, he's essentially ignoring Zachary Quinto to try to get at the female. But it's like, why ignore him? Just snap his fucking neck and move on. You're supposed to be this cold-blooded killer.
He also had his gun. He could have just been like, pow, and then just kept going.
So, like I said, the action scenes took you out of the moment with something that broke your suspense of disbelief in a negative way. Yeah. The best thing that I can say of this movie, the music was not very good at all. No. And so that didn't help. What I did want to say, the best thing is the locations.
Yes, was that?
There's one scene where they're like in a garden or something.
Like Singapore.
It looks fucking beautiful.
Real? That's the best thing. I want to go there now.
Is that real?
A lot of those are like there's if you go on YouTube, you can look in Singapore. There's a lot of those hotels with like gardens on top of them. People base jump from them. And they have videos with like GoPros, like that guy that goes in between that one with the garden. And
I was looking at these locations. I was like, these locations are fucking beautiful. Singapore is advanced as hell. I was like, wow, I want to go to Singapore. That botanical garden with the fucking bridge and shit. So that was more interesting than the rest of the movie.
This movie
and they only use that location to like talk. And maybe fire 1 or 2 shots, and then they run out of that location and they're in a different location. I was like, damn, man,
the best location.
Y'all could have done something with that. Yeah. I don't know. So, Agent 47, just stop making Hitman movies. Let's stick to the games. It sucks because I thought, well, this could maybe push the Hitman video games a little more, and they get a little boost from the movie. No. I don't know if it might hurt the video games with it. Like, I already saw the movie. I'm not going to mess with the video games. At least mainstream audience. Gamers know that the Hitman games are good by IO Interactive. So I'm looking forward to the video game. Please save your money. Do not waste your money on this movie. Save it for the video game. Even if they offer DLC, take the movie and buy it on DLC. Because
save it.
That's how bad.
Singapore. Yeah. That's the best thing. Save it. Go to Singapore.
Oh, yeah, even better.
Go to Singapore. Yeah.
This movie is basically an advertisement for Singapore.
Right. I don't think Singapore costs $15 to go to.
Save it and invest it, baby.
Invest it. It'll grow one day.
Okay, so it was a really short review. It was a really poor movie. The cardinal sin of the movie is that it was boring.
Yeah.
It was boring. Most of it was boring. The fight scenes were not all that great. They did have a few good fight scenes between Hitman, Agent 47, and Zachary Quinto. I liked the aspect of him being this super soldier. They did that right and a few times, especially when there's a famous scene where they all hit his car with repel arrows, and so that his car can't move. So he's like, "Fuck this!" He gets out of his car.
And then, yeah, that was good.
You know, it reminded me of a little bit of Equilibrium and Gun Kata, but you see, Equilibrium is the movie. This movie should have been. Equilibrium is like, fuck it, we're just gonna go non-stop Gun Kata, right? No story, just Gun Kata. The story sucked, but it looked amazing. Here, they tried to inject this story that just didn't work for Agent 47.
And then when they had him in the car, and they all had guns, why didn't they just shoot him through the windshield when the car was still?
Oh, right. Instead of...
grapple it. After they came
After
down...
they grappled the car, nobody thought to bring the machine gun. It's like, I just got a rappel gun here. It's just a rappel gun.
No, they get their guns and rappel down and then get killed. Instead of just shooting him from a moderate distance.
From all of these areas. That's a good... Yeah, what did I tell you? Every single cool action scene is fucked up by one of those moments. It's like, wait a minute, why didn't they just
shot him.
They needed to hire somebody that's job is to be like, wait a minute, why didn't they just... You're right. Okay, so we'll just say that they didn't bring the guns, or they're in a public area, they don't want to hire the police or get the police on them. You know, just different things like that.
Hire somebody with common sense. Is basically what you
hire
say.
somebody with common sense.
Common sense.
I guess...
We need to fill another hour. Like, get this guy out of here. He's using logic.
One other thing about the film that I will give it credit is it was like the video game. They tried to pay lip service to the video game. So there were sections in the movie where it felt like you were playing a video game. In the opening, all the technology that they were doing, and they were on iPads and sort of researching and hitting buttons to engage automatic sniper rifles, where the agent is, in the opening of the movie, tracking down this syndicate to stop them from getting the agent formula, or the dude who knows how to make agents. So they had a big sequence like that, pressing buttons. That was cool. They also had a sequence which was hilarious, and I'm glad the movie had the balls to do it, where the female is walking around. What's her name? Hannah, the actress. Hannah Ware. Hannah Ware is the actress that plays the daughter of this scientist that they're looking for, and she is you learn that she's enhanced as well. And Agent 47 is trying to mentor her and teach her her abilities, so he's like, you need to avoid these cameras. And then it turns into a video game where she's like, and the camera's gonna get her, but no, she gets on a little baggage cart, and she's hiding behind bags. And I heard people laughing in the theater because it was ridiculous, but I was like, this is just like the game where you're avoiding the cameras in the game and you're trying to be stealthy. So that was kind of cool, but yeah, everything else, and while mainstream audiences hated that part, I was like, hey, that's like the video game.
I think the biggest plot hole, though, like the biggest issue I had is, yes, she ends up being enhanced.
But don't spoil.
It's not a spoiler, but in the sense of...
We could save it for the...
Okay, yeah, but anyway, I don't know, it just felt pointless. The entire movie just felt like there was no need.
Yes, and we're about to get to that. So let's do our final ratings, and then we'll talk spoilers all in the same video. Yeah. Okay, so OtherJoe, let's begin with you. Out of 10. Now, do you remember what we gave Fantastic Four?
Yes, I gave it a 3. This was better, so I'm going to go with a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 4 on this one.
All right.
When we watched it in the theater,
slightly below average.
Yeah, slightly below average.
And could you give me any reasons, like what earned that 4 for you? Obviously the Hitman you liked.
Yeah, that's the only part I liked, and
some of the action.
Yeah, none of the action. It was like. It was kind of flat to me. Like, you see, there's a whole bunch of action, but I was like, eh.
Exactly. It's like,
wow, that's cool.
I see your average attempt. I see you tried, but yeah.
So kind of like some of the things you said. It's like, oh, that was pretty cool. But wait a minute, we could have just done this. There's like other things you could have done. The script was like.
But it was better than Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
You didn't even fall asleep in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's weird though.
Because you were in too much pain.
No,
I think this film was probably worse than Fantastic.
I fell asleep on that part where you said, where she's like in the pool, skinny dipping.
The only part you would have liked.
Well,
I don't know.
All right, what about you?
I gotta give it a 4. I mean, it's one of those things where like my biggest issue with the game being or with the movie,
4.
It's
you
a
guys
4.
Are giving it way too high.
It's a 4 because it was better than the first one, And
see, I don't remember a whole lot about the first one except for they fucked it up.
yeah, they fucked it up. But the issue with it is that the franchise doesn't know what to do with itself in the movies. And if they would have just taken the game, because this is a movie for the people that have played the game. If you looked around, it was mostly people our age with a few young kids there in the movie theater and like 1 or 2 wives that got dragged along to see this movie. But they should have done a movie based on the games for people that saw it. It's not. And I guess they wanted to appeal to a broader audience, like Joe said. But if they had just gone the route of like a Die Hard movie and made it a summer action movie or something for everybody to go and see, but kept true to the game, it would have been much better. But they don't, and because of that, it's a 4. It's there's no need for 80% of what they
below
did.
Below average, then 4. Okay. I am going to give the final film a rating of 3 out of 10. Okay, it is lower than 4. I don't understand how you guys are giving it because I question you both. And I didn't question you. Why is it a 4? Why did it earn those boop, 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 up to slightly below average? What did you like in the film?
I liked 47, and in Fantastic Four, I hated everyone.
Okay, but still, but
and I gave it 3. I gave Fantastic Four 3.
So for me, like we're ending up to an average movie. It didn't do anything right, but that's 5 out of 10. But the problem is. The stunts were terrible. There was a lot of CGI stunts, by the way. Dudes like falling off cars, and you can tell it's like a video game. It's just a dude. I think Hitman Absolution had better graphics than that. But anyway, so every single action scene was ruined by something. Whether it was that shit makes no sense, or that is CGI. It looks terrible. And I will admit, the only good thing in the movie was Agent 47 nailed his role, but really it's an easy role to nail. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be a badass, you know? And so the dialogue didn't work during the exposition. There was an overload of information at the beginning. There was just pointless sections that we'll get to in the spoilers. That's why, for me, it is a 3 out of 10. I do have to say that because there was action, it's better than Fantastic Four. Because Fantastic Four has no action up until the last 1 minute and 30 seconds at the end where it doesn't make sense. It's like they reshot everything in Fantastic Four and we're like, fuck, we forgot action. Let's put this thing that makes no sense. At least here, there's a bunch of action throughout the film, but it's all below average, mediocre at best. But no, 3 out of 10. It's just what the fuck? What the fuck?
Why?
Okay, so that is our rating for Hitman. Please save your money. Don't bother. Don't buy the DVD. It may be, if it's on TV, maybe watch it. Maybe. But by the time this comes out on TV, you're not gonna have an account. You're not gonna have cable. We're gonna be all watching shit on the internet or something. You know what I mean? So fuck watching this on TV. So let's go directly to the spoiler section and talk about the really stupid ass things. So Zachary Quinto does end up as a bad guy. So that was another good thing I wanted to talk about the film, where they position him as a good guy. And he does have that sort of persona. He's a good looking dude, and he's like, he's showing genuine... He's showing genuine concern for Hannah's character, and I was convinced. I was like, I could have swore, did they ruin this movie in the trailers? Because I thought they showed him as a bad guy, and then eventually here comes Hitman, finally finds the 2, pop, pop, 2 shots to the chest, and they killed him, and I was like, wow, if they do that, that is really cool, showing people that even though Zachary's this badass spy, once... the hitman catches up with him, 2 shots, he's gone. And I was like, I really respect the movie for doing that. And taking out a well-known Zachary actor, right? But no, he comes back. And he comes back in the hilarious way ever. They explain that he has subdermal body armor. Subdermal. His skin is... underneath the skin. Subdermal. Is like fucking body armor. You could shoot him and his skin resists bullets. He's bulletproof. He's a walking, talking, bulletproof man.
He's like full Wolverine.
He is like a failed experimentation of the Syndicate Corporation, who's been trying to replicate the agency's agents. And they I think probably the best line of the movie, even though this movie just has no memorable quotes was when the creator of the agent program said to Zachary's character, you know, you're a failed experiment.
You're a failed experiment. You'll never be as good.
You'll never be as good as Agent 47 because the difference is his mind is enhanced
in his head.
and your body's enhanced. You know, I was like, okay, that was cool. But if you listen to some of the other lines in this movie, they're so terrible. There was one where once they learn that Zachary has subdermal body armor, the creator of the agents goes, they got that to work? And Agent 47 says, yup.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, nice. So there were great one-liners throughout the entire movie like that. Like I said, the dialogue was really poor. Anything else you want to spoil? So it turns out that she...
I did have something.
No, I'm going to give Joe.
Joe, you first.
You haven't talked much, so...
Talk.
Let's review who was the female character, Hannah's character.
Hannah Ware.
Who did she end up being?
She actually was, what was it, Agent 90.
That's right. I'm surprised you were awake for that part.
I woke up for that. What? I heard Agent 90. What?
Agent 90. So she's supposed to be like 47, 43 better.
43 agents better. So she's like
47.
the best one, and she's like, all your life you just trained to run scared, but now it's time, and she ends up a badass.
So yeah, she ends up basically Agent 47's sister. Did you catch that, Joe?
I did catch
okay.
that.
Towards the end, as they're going in an elevator, I don't know, they were trying to do maybe a funny scene where she's like, you know, tying her hair together, but the tone wasn't there. So I'm like, is this supposed to be like she's being a badass with her hair, or is this supposed to be like we're funny?
It's time to get down to business.
Brother.
Hair's coming up.
Like I said, the concept is great. It's like, oh, Agent 47 gets a sister. Oh, that's fucking tight on paper. You're like, oh, he's gonna go save his fucking dad. Oh shit, and he's taken that. You know,
it was just executed
it sounds
horribly.
so cool on paper, but it's just executed so awful.
I think my biggest issue with it is they even set it up that as a kid he was born, he had the tattoo, the barcode or whatever, and he was trained for his entire life to be an assassin with gunplay and everything. They showed this in the other movie. They talk about it in the games, how he went through the school all the way up. He was constantly trained, constantly taught martial arts and shit. She, like, my biggest issue is she fucking knew everything without ever being trained, and that's impossible. Like, she was like, you know what? I've never shot a gun in my life. Suddenly, I'm a fucking gunjitsu master.
Dal, come on, man. They were programmed. She just needed to... The reason for that, I can explain that away. She was taking pills so that she can control her abilities, because she didn't know that she had all these abilities. And
like
as Agent 47 was like, give me those. You need to stop taking those. Then she learns all the rest of the stuff that was programmed.
I don't get then why was he having to go through, like, 10, 15 years of training for everything in that school.
We don't know. That was never really...
Then she was like a kid.
She's superior.
And she just knows it all.
She is 43 levels above him.
That's so dumb. That's just a dumb plot device. Like,
I think it was a cool plot device, but done very poorly is what you mean. Because, I mean, a sister for Hitman, a female Hitman, that sounds fucking tight.
It is,
but they fucked it up. Hardcore. And you know, the only ones that did well in the movie, as we said, it was very easy for this guy. What's his name?
Rupert Friend
to do a good job as Agent 47. And I thought Zachary did a good job at the beginning, sort of making it seem like he's a good guy, and then turning into a bad guy.
He's like, my mission was to protect you. And then she's like, I gotta go find my father. I'll go with you.
I'll go with you.
All of a sudden, you just change like that. I was like, this guy's up to no good.
This guy's good.
So we'll ruin 2 more reveals for the movie. I thought what was super insulting is they set up a sequel here. They think their shit is good. They're like, oh yeah, oh that shit smells good. That they want to set up a sequel where Zachary Quinto was killed via electricity. Turns out not only is he bulletproof, but he's also electricity proof. But this time he wakes up, he has white hair and white eyes, and now he's going to probably get up and fight Agent 47 all over again in the sequel.
Mr. White versus Agent 47.
And there is another reveal, Agent 47, and this never came through. This concept was executed poorly, where it's like Agent 47 is more human than the rest of the agents and finally decides to make his own decision. He's supposed to kill his sister. And he doesn't kill his sister. He makes the decision not to go against the agency, and Diana sends Agent 48 after her. And you see, oh shit, there's a tag there, Agent 48. This is gonna be so awesome. I've always wanted to see another agent, and in this universe, he's wearing the same thing, and I was like, I cannot wait to see this guy's face. And the camera pans up, and it's Agent 47. I'm like, God damn it, they just reused the same face. And I was like, fuck, that ruins the lore. It doesn't ruin the lore, but they could have done something more amazing with it, where just have each guy look fucking unique. And you could have had, I don't know, who don't we see often? We could have had a Mexican up in there. We could have had OtherJoe.
OtherJoe.
Yeah, the guy looks exactly like. Or no, Michael, what's that guy's name? Michael Piana? I don't know. People got mad that I pronounced his name wrong, but he was awesome in Ant-Man or something like that. But no, it's the same guy. And so earlier in the film, Zachary makes mention, she's like, are you Agent 46? And he's like, no, that's someone else. And in my mind got racing, wow, cool. What does Agent 46 look like? Is he as good as Agent 47? No, but maybe if he tried real hard, is he as good as Agent... You know, that kind of creative stuff is completely ruined now because all the agents look the fucking same. He could have done something better than that movie version of it anyways. Anyways, so it sucked. Don't go out and see it. Waste of fucking time. And next week we are subjecting ourselves to Sinister 2, which I heard is pretty bad as well. But I love horror movies. Me and Joe love horror movies. Do you like horror movies?
Yeah, I do.
Not really.
Not really?
What?
Well, we're taking him anyway.
Woo!
And we're going to see your opinion on Sinister 2 and see how that turns out. So we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye.